We've all met someone whose words cut like a knife. Maybe they spoke without thinking, or worse, they knew exactly what they were doing. And we've all seen what happens when emotions take over, decisions made in anger, regret that follows. We've watched people drown in debt because they never learned to control their spending. And we've seen what happens when someone lets their thoughts spiral into self-doubt. But here's the truth. The people who live with purpose, the ones who inspire us, they have something in common. They've learned to control 4 things: what they say, how they feel, how they handle money, and how they think. First, your mouth. Words have weight. They can build people up or tear them down in an instant. Speak with intention. Pause before reacting. The strongest leaders don't just talk, they listen. Second, your mood. Feelings are real, but they don't have to rule you. The most successful people don't wait to feel motivated. They act despite their emotions. They understand that discipline beats mood every time. Third, your money. Money is a tool, not a trophy. The goal isn't just to have more, it's to use it wisely. People who control their money create opportunities. Those who don't, they become prisoners of their own choices. And finally, your mind. The most powerful thing you own isn't your car, your house, or your bank account. It's your mindset. Control your thoughts, and you control your future. Here's the bottom line. Discipline is freedom. The more you control these 4 things, the more control you have over your life. It's not about restriction. It's about creating a future where you are in charge, not your impulses. Words have power. The things we say shape how others see us, and more importantly, how we see ourselves. We've all experienced moments where words changed everything, whether for better or worse. A single sentence can inspire someone to take action, or it can destroy confidence in an instant. The way we speak, the words we choose, and the tone we use all create a ripple effect, influencing our relationships, careers, and even our self-perception. Think about the leaders, mentors, or people who have left a lasting impact on your life. What was it about them? It wasn't just what they did, it was how they spoke. Their words carried conviction, clarity, and purpose. They didn't waste time complaining or gossiping. They didn't tear people down to make themselves feel bigger. They spoke in a way that moved others forward. That's the kind of control over our words we all need to develop. But here's the challenge. Most people don't think before they speak, they react. They let frustration, impatience, or insecurity take control. And before they even realize it, they've said something they can't take back. And words don't just disappear, they linger. They sit in people's minds, shaping how they feel about us and themselves. If you've ever had someone say something to you that stuck with you for years, whether good or bad, you understand exactly what I mean. When you control your mouth, you control the way people experience you. You control your influence. You control your reputation. And you control the energy you bring into every interaction. A person who speaks with intention is a person people want to listen to. But a person who speaks recklessly, people eventually stop taking them seriously. Think about a time when someone's words completely changed your perspective. Maybe a teacher told you, "I see something special in you," and that one sentence pushed you to try harder. Or maybe a boss said, "You're not leadership material," and for years you carried that doubt with you. That's how powerful words are. They don't just land, they take root. Now imagine flipping the script. Imagine being the person who speaks in a way that lifts others up instead of bringing them down. Imagine being the person whose words create confidence, not doubt. That kind of communication doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you take control of your mouth. Taking control means understanding that words have consequences. It means choosing patience over impulse. It means pausing before speaking, especially in moments of frustration. The strongest communicators aren't the ones who talk the most, they're the ones who listen the best. They choose their words wisely. They know that what they say can either open doors or shut them forever. And this isn't just about how we talk to others, it's also about how we talk to ourselves. The words you use internally shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," or "I always mess things up," guess what? Your mind believes it. You start living according to those words. But if you shift that language, if you start saying, "I can figure this out," or "I'm learning and improving every day," your brain starts working in your favor. The way you speak, both to yourself and others, either builds or destroys. It's that simple. So the question is, are you using your words to construct a life you're proud of, or are you tearing it down without even realizing it? This is why discipline over what we say matters. It's why leaders, visionaries, and game changers are intentional with their words. They don't just talk for the sake of talking. They don't waste time on negativity, gossip, or complaints. They speak in a way that aligns with their goals, their values, and their purpose. And because of that, people listen. If you want to gain real influence, whether in your workplace, your relationships, or even within yourself, it starts with controlling your mouth. It starts with recognizing that words aren't just noise. They're tools. Tools that can either build bridges or burn them. Tools that can create trust or destroy it. Tools that can either push you forward or hold you back. So here's the challenge. Starting today, be more intentional about the words you use. Pause before reacting. Choose words that align with the person you want to become. Speak in a way that lifts others instead of tearing them down. Because when you control your mouth, you don't just change conversations, you change lives, including your own. Emotions are powerful. They can drive us to achieve greatness, push us to fight for what we believe in, and make life rich with meaning. But emotions can also betray us. They can make us act impulsively, say things we don't mean, and sabotage the very things we care about. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle isn't whether they feel emotions, it's how they handle them. We've all been there. Someone says something that frustrates us, and before we can think, we snap back. We wake up feeling unmotivated, so we decide to put off the important work until tomorrow. We get caught up in stress and let it dictate our actions, making decisions based on fear rather than clarity. In those moments, emotions are in control, and when emotions take control, we lose it. The truth is, emotions are fleeting. They come and go like waves. But the choices we make because of them, those can last forever. That's why learning to control our mood is one of the most important skills we can develop. It's what separates those who react from those who respond. And that difference is everything. The most successful people don't wait to feel good before they take action. They don't rely on motivation because they know motivation is unreliable. They show up regardless of how they feel. They understand that discipline is stronger than mood. They know that just because they feel a certain way doesn't mean they have to act on it. Think about the last time you let your emotions dictate your actions. Maybe you sent a text in anger that you later regretted. Maybe you walked away from an opportunity because fear convinced you that you weren't ready. Maybe you let a bad morning turn into a bad day because you didn't take control of your mood early on. We've all done it, and every time we see the consequences. But the people who achieve great things, they operate differently. They recognize their emotions, but they don't let those emotions run the show. When frustration hits, they pause instead of lashing out. When fear creeps in, they acknowledge it, but don't let it stop them. When they wake up feeling unmotivated, they get to work anyway. They don't let temporary feelings dictate long-term success. It's not about ignoring emotions. It's about managing them. It's about understanding that feelings are real, but they don't have to be in charge. You can feel anger without letting it turn into destructive words. You can feel doubt without letting it stop you from moving forward. You can feel unmotivated and still take action. That's real control. That's real power. Think about the people who inspire you the most. Are they the ones who explode in anger at every inconvenience? Are they the ones who give up on their goals the moment things get tough? Are they the ones who let stress make their decisions for them? No. The people we admire are the ones who stay calm under pressure. The ones who keep going even when they don't feel like it. The ones who master their emotions instead of being mastered by them. And the good news, this isn't something you're either born with or not. It's a skill. It's something you can develop. It starts with awareness, paying attention to your emotions before they take control. It starts with practice, learning to pause before reacting. It starts with discipline, choosing action over excuses. Every day you have a choice. You can let your mood control you, or you can control your mood. You can let emotions dictate your decisions, or you can decide based on your values, your goals, and your purpose. You can let temporary feelings hold you back, or you can push forward despite them. The strongest, most successful people don't always feel like showing up, but they show up anyway. They don't always feel confident, but they act with confidence anyway. They don't let emotions define them, they define themselves. And that's the difference between those who get stuck and those who rise. So the question is, who do you want to be? Someone controlled by emotions or someone in control of them? Because the moment you take charge of your mood, you take charge of your life. Money is one of the biggest sources of stress in people's lives. It determines where we live, what opportunities we have, and even how we feel about ourselves. Yet, for something so important, most people never learn how to control it. Instead, they let it control them. They spend impulsively, chase short-term pleasure, and then wonder why they feel trapped. But the truth is, money isn't the problem. The problem is how we handle it. We've all seen it. People who get a raise and immediately increase their spending. People who buy things they don't need just to impress people they don't even like. People who say they want financial freedom but never take control of their finances. And then when stress hits, when an emergency happens, when the bills pile up, they feel stuck. But they're not stuck because of how much they make. They're stuck because they never learned how to manage what they have. Money is a tool. That's all it is. It's not good or bad. It's not something to chase endlessly or something to fear. It's just a tool. And like any tool, if you know how to use it, you can build something incredible. But if you don't, it can do more damage than good. The difference between those who feel free and those who feel trapped isn't their income, it's their discipline. It's the choices they make every day. It's understanding that money is meant to work for you, not the other way around. And that starts with control. Control means knowing where your money is going. It means making intentional decisions instead of letting emotions dictate your spending. It means delaying gratification, understanding that short-term pleasure isn't worth long-term stress. It means building habits that lead to security instead of constantly playing catch-up. But most people don't do this. They see money as something that just comes and goes, as if they have no say in the matter. They let marketing, peer pressure, and impulse take over. They convince themselves that they deserve a luxury lifestyle without realizing that true financial success isn't about looking rich. It's about actually being free. And here's the real issue. Money problems don't just affect your bank account. They affect your mind, they affect your relationships, they affect your ability to take risks and pursue opportunities. When you're constantly worried about money, it's hard to focus on anything else. It keeps you up at night. It makes you settle for jobs you hate, stay in situations you don't want to be in, and put off the dreams you actually care about. That's why controlling your money isn't just about finances, it's about freedom. The people who have mastered money understand this. They don't spend based on emotions. They don't let temporary desires destroy their long-term goals. They prioritize financial security over momentary satisfaction. They save before they spend. They invest in their future instead of just their present. And because of that, they have options. They have peace of mind. They have control. And the best part, you don't need to be wealthy to start. You don't need to have a high-pay job or a perfect financial situation. You just need to shift your mindset. You need to stop seeing money as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something you control. That means making a plan. That means setting boundaries. That means understanding that every financial decision you make today is shaping your future. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you had complete control over your money. No stress over bills, no fear of unexpected expenses, no more paycheck-to-paycheck living. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your financial choices are leading you toward freedom, not stress. That's what control gives you. And the only thing standing between where you are now and that reality is your willingness to take responsibility. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to step in and fix your finances for you. It's on you. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, because that means you have the power to change it. It starts with simple but powerful habits. Knowing where your money is going, spending with intention, avoiding debt that keeps you stuck, saving for the future instead of just spending for today. These aren't just financial strategies, they're life strategies. They build discipline, they build confidence, they build freedom. So ask yourself, are you in control of your money or is your money controlling you? Because if you don't decide, the world will decide for you. And the world is designed to keep you spending, to keep you chasing, to keep you feeling like you're never enough. But you just have to start making choices that reflect the life you actually want. Because at the end of the day, money should be a tool that works for you, not a weight that holds you back. And the moment you take control of it, you take control of your future. Your mind is the most powerful thing you own. It determines how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately how far you go in life. The difference between people who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't luck, talent, or even resources, it's mindset. A strong mind creates opportunities, a weak mind creates excuses. And the good news, you get to decide which one you have. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every act of resilience starts in the mind. Before someone builds a business, before an athlete wins a championship, before a leader changes the world, it starts as a thought, a belief. A mindset that says, I can figure this out, but the opposite is also true. The people who never reach their potential, the ones who quit before they even try, also start in the mind. They tell themselves, I'm not smart enough, I don't have the resources, or it's too late for me. And because they believe it, they live it. The mind is always listening. Whatever you tell it, it accepts as truth. If you constantly feed it doubt, fear, and negativity, it will find ways to confirm those thoughts. If you tell yourself you're not capable, your brain will look for evidence to prove you right. But if you tell yourself, I can learn, I can grow, and I can handle this, your mind starts working for you instead of against you. It starts looking for solutions instead of obstacles. It starts focusing on what's possible instead of what's missing. But most people don't realize how much control they have over their thoughts. They think the way they see the world is just the way it is. They don't question their limiting beliefs. They don't challenge the stories they tell themselves. And because of that, they stay stuck. They let their past dictate their future. They let failures define them instead of refine them. They let fear make their decisions instead of courage. The truth is your thoughts are either building you up or tearing you down. And if you're not actively training your mind, it's being shaped by the world around you, by negativity, by distractions, by fear-based thinking. That's why controlling your mind is so important. It's not about ignoring reality, it's about choosing how you respond to it. It's about recognizing that just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean you have to believe it. Imagine what your life would look like if you fully controlled your thoughts. If instead of thinking about why something won't work, you trained your mind to find ways it could. If instead of dwelling on past mistakes, you focused on the lessons they taught you. If instead of letting fear stop you, you used it as fuel to move forward. That's the power of mastering your mind. Strong-minded people don't have fewer problems than others. They just approach them differently. When challenges arise, they don't panic, they strategize. When they face rejection, they don't take it as a sign to quit, they take it as feedback to improve. When things don't go as planned, they don't dwell on what went wrong, they adjust and keep moving. They don't let their circumstances define them. They define themselves. And that's what makes the difference. Because life will test you. There will be moments when everything feels like it's falling apart. There will be times when nothing goes your way. There will be days when you feel like giving up. But if your mind is strong, you won't break. You'll bend, you'll adapt, you'll learn, but you won't break. But mental strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And like any muscle, it grows through resistance. It grows by pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. It grows by doing the hard things even when you don't feel like it. It grows by replacing self-doubt with self-discipline. So how do you start? You start by becoming aware of your thoughts, by questioning the beliefs that hold you back, by deciding that just because you've always thought a certain way doesn't mean you have to keep thinking that way. You start by choosing to feed your mind with things that make you stronger: books, conversations, experiences that challenge you. You start by surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who push you to think bigger. You start by taking action, even when you don't feel ready, because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. Most people think success is about external factors, money, status, connections. But real success starts internally. It starts with a mindset that refuses to be average, a mindset that refuses to settle, a mindset that says, no matter what happens, I will figure it out. That kind of thinking is what separates those who create extraordinary lives from those who don't. So the question is, are you controlling your mind, or is your mind controlling you? Because the moment you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your future. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's not talent, luck, or motivation that separates successful people from those who struggle. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like it. Control is not about restriction. It's about freedom. The more disciplined you are in your words, your emotions, your finances, and your thoughts, the more control you have over your life. And the moment you lose control in these areas, life starts controlling you. Think about the people who always seem to be ahead, the ones who make progress, who achieve their goals, who seem to have everything in order. It's not because they have more hours in a day or because things are easier for them. It's because they've built the habit of showing up, of making the right choices, of staying consistent when others give up. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't depend on motivation. They rely on discipline. Most people live reactively. They let their emotions dictate their actions. They let their impulses control their spending. They let their fears shape their decisions. They let distractions steal their time. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why things aren't changing, why success always seems out of reach. The answer is simple: they haven't built the discipline to take control. The reality is, everything worth having requires discipline. A strong body requires discipline in how you eat and move. A healthy bank account requires discipline in how you spend and save. A sharp mind requires discipline in what you feed it and how you challenge it. A great relationship requires discipline in how you communicate and invest in the other person. Success in any area isn't magic, it's a result of small, consistent choices repeated over time. But discipline isn't easy, and that's why most people avoid it. It's easier to stay comfortable. It's easier to procrastinate. It's easier to let emotions take over. It's easier to make excuses. And that's why so many people never reach their potential, because they choose easy over what's necessary. But the truth is, there are only two kinds of pain in life: the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And the choice is always yours. Think about a goal you've wanted to achieve. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's getting in shape. Maybe it's starting a business. Whatever it is, what's been stopping you, it's not a lack of ability. It's not a lack of opportunity. It's a lack of consistent action. And that's what discipline gives you: the ability to stay on track, no matter what. But here's the thing: discipline isn't about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's about making the right choices more often than not. It's about learning to get back on track quickly when you slip up. It's about training yourself to do what's necessary, even when it's uncomfortable. Because discomfort is temporary, but the results last forever. Most people think discipline is restrictive, but the truth is, it's the exact opposite. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you have. When you have control over your money, you have the freedom to make choices without stress. When you have control over your emotions, you have the freedom to respond to situations calmly instead of reacting impulsively. When you have control over your mind, you have the freedom to push past fear and doubt. Discipline doesn't take away freedom, it creates it. But if you don't build discipline, life will make the choices for you. If you don't discipline your spending, you'll always feel financially trapped. If you don't discipline your emotions, you'll always be at the mercy of how you feel in the moment. If you don't discipline your mind, you'll always be held back by doubt and fear. The cost of discipline is small compared to the cost of living without it. The people who create the lives they want don't do it by chance. They do it by choice. They decide what they want, and then they commit to the habits, actions, and mindset that will get them there. They understand that success isn't about making one big move, it's about making the right small moves consistently. And that requires discipline. So the question is, are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to wake up early when you'd rather sleep in? Are you willing to say no to distractions when others are giving in? Are you willing to push through discomfort, knowing that's where growth happens? Because if you are, there's nothing you can't achieve. At the end of the day, discipline is a choice. And every choice you make is either moving you closer to the life you want or further away from it. There's no in between. So what will you choose? Because the moment you take control of your discipline, you take control of your future.